Today, chat, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I went on Reddit last night, and I asked Reddit what their DBD hot takes were. We're at 420 now. I apologize. We're going to go through this. I'm going to react to some of them and see what's going on here. So we're going to sort by controversial and see what we can find. The game is still survivor-sided, especially given the recent eruption nerf, and having to run at least 2 gen slowdown perks so you don't get gen rush is absolutely ridiculous. The game isn't balanced, never truly will be, unless the devs actually fix their game. I agree with the first part, that the game is heavily survivor-sided. This is a useless thing to say. What are your solutions? Myers' eerie add-ons don't need to be changed. It's supposed to be a casual game. His add-ons are interesting and make the game proper horror. I agree. My most unpopular opinion, which will 100% get me downvoted. So is this actually your opinion, or are you just trying to get downvoted? Let's see. The game, considering how complex it is with as many factors as it has, is actually pretty balanced as a whole. Of course, there's BS that makes some matches unwinnable for the other side, but yeah, I agree with this. Blight minus 2 of his add-ons is actually as close as this game has gotten to making a balanced killer, and let me make it clear, I 100% hate versing a Blight and hate playing as him, but checks all the requirements in community score. Again, minus ALC ring, area out on the insta breaks pallets. I don't agree with this. I've said for a long time that the closest that this game has to having balanced killers is Huntress and Wraith. Bubba is the most fun killer to verse. This has got to be Spook and Jukes' fucking ult account, bro. Especially when they use Bamboozle. This is a Spook and Jukes ult account. I disagree. Flashlight should be buffed significantly, and I mean a lot. How so? This is unhelpful to me. People use skill to criticize something on the other side. They're just being salty. Nothing in this game requires that much skill. That's just wrong. So criticize something as being strong and requiring no skill is a pointless argument. Even if something does require a lot of skill, eventually enough people will get good at it and will be praised. This entire thing is just wrong, not just in DBD, but just overall. You should only be able to get items in chests. You should not be able to bring items in from the outside. That way perks have a purpose. Okay, I think this is a result of someone not really understanding the mechanics of items. Okay, so like let's say you got rid of items in the blood web. What then? Like what are you gonna fill blood webs with for survivors? Just offerings? That's it? That's all survivors get after they get all their perks? They just get offerings? That's it? That's silly. Like this has provided nothing. This has provided nothing to me. If all killers were buffed up to top 3 level, and then the game was balanced around that, along adjusting survivors accordingly, it would be a much more entertaining game than we have now. How do you propose we do this first part? Ignoring everything out, how do you propose this even happens? Because the reason the top 3 killers of the game, Spirit, Blight, and Nurse, are the top 3 is because of their powers and what their powers do. And you know what their powers do? Their powers allow them to get across the map extremely quickly. Map pressure is always going to be the most powerful ability in Dead by Daylight. So until you can tell me how you're going to take the other fucking 27 killers in this game and give them insane map pressure, you're just saying shit. Bloodlust shouldn't go away when breaking a pallet. I agree. Stealth is the most fun way to play both sides of the game. I agree. Trickster is the scariest killer on the roster. I don't agree. Skull Merchant is cool. I agree. Negativity bias in the community is a good thing. One of the reasons I hate asking people's hot takes is very often they don't add nuance or elaborate. What do you fucking mean by this? Because I don't see any way that negativity is a good thing. Because negativity bias is a good thing. Because this means that no matter what comes out, no matter how good it is, people will find shit wrong with it and bitch about it and bring everybody else's moods down. What do the replies say to this one? Expand. Okay, yeah. Even if a patch is great, the community will fixate on the bad and complain. This isn't something exclusive to this community. Okay, but why do you... but why is that not bad? Okay, come on. Come on, Independent. Independent, get with the program! What did he say? It can help draw behavior's attention to issues in otherwise great patches in order to improve them. Can definitely be, but it's important to keep... Okay, but that doesn't require negativity bias. That just requires people to understand how to play both sides of a coin when analyzing something. This isn't inherent to negativity bias. This is inherent to a love of the game, right? So if they released a patch tomorrow that was full of amazing things, people like me, Darva, Spooky Loops, Aaron, Spook and Jukes, Jane, the Jane Romero show, people like us are gonna look at the patch, go, wow, this is cool, we love it. But, and then we'll point out other stuff. Negativity bias is a dog shit attitude to have. And it always will be, because it means you'll never be satisfied with anything, and you'll always be constantly dragging everybody down. I get irritated when I'm tunneled, but I don't blame the killer for doing it. They're just trying to play the game as effectively as possible. It's a game design issue. I agree, but I do not know what you guys want what you guys want the devs to do about it. Map art. Yes! 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 Map offerings need to be deleted from the fucking game. I have been saying this. I have been saying it. Map offerings are dog shit. I fucking hate them. They need to be fucking taken out of the game and replaced with the effect that if you bring them, it reduces the chance of going to that map. You should be able to reduce your chances of going to a specific map over forcing everybody in the game to play on the map you want to play on. Fuck that shit. Dead Hard isn't that big of a problem, and you should really get blood point. Okay, yeah, no, I agree with that. Boy, okay, this is a lot. I've been saying this before, but Nemesis needs a rework. I'm not talking about like a buff or a nerd. I mean a complete change to his power. In his current state, he's balanced probably and still very fun to play, but it never feels like Nemesis. The character were great for the chapter, but regarding his power, he was meh adaptation. They didn't do him justice with that hentai tentacle, especially because of the fact that it only acts as a 3-hit down for survivors. He should get his power reworked, and instead the tentacle, which is shown in every game very often, or at least is never which isn't shown in every game. He should get something like either a power that depicts one of his other physical abilities well, or better that he should get a rocket or rocket launcher flamethrower. Okay, I'm thinking cases that hold them could be locked at first, but then when a certain amount of gens gets progress or pop or anything, they can unlock. You do not ever want to lock a killer power behind how many fucking behind how many gens have been done. That's really stupid. And wielding such a weapon should really give you the feeling that you're playing Nemesis. I know it sounds OP, but I'm sure there's a way to make it balanced and still influential in trials. Like for the flamethrowers, survivors could have an ignition meter or something that sounds better than that. That worked kind of like the laceration meter with Trickster, with the Ricket launcher. I'm thinking maybe it could throw them in a certain direction based off of where the rocket landed nearer them, kind of like Wesker's throw. And if they hit a surface, they get damaged or down. It would kind of make sense for the rocket to not kill them. I know not lore-wise though, because in the remake, explosions only seem to drill around, and cutscenes and stuff. It's a serious idea. Hope behavior. I disagree. Weirdos and virgins, virgins, are ruining this game with their mommy and shirtless jokes, hiding them as memes, but then spending money to jerk off on huntress skins and pixel human beings. Not only it's clearly fucking sad, but also affecting the game's content. Well, you just sound like a fucking prude. Oh, another multi-type. Let's see it, chat. There should be no hatch. Okay. Instead, there should be a final chase. Once the third survivor died, the last survivor has their aura revealed to the killer. When more than 32 meters away, a 60 to 90 second timer starts and several broken pallets return to the map. If the survivor evades the killer for the time limit, then they instantly escape. If the killer downs them, you get the in-game Mori. It's not fair to do greatest killer and the last survivor gets out just because. And if the killer closes hatch 95% of the time, the survivor can't use doors anyway. Listen, okay, I agree. I agree with this part in brackets, right? Hatch feels really unfun. and it sucks to lose to RNG. But the rest of this, my guy, the rest of this is just out of pocket. Just out of fucking pocket. I guarantee you what will end up happening is you'll see a lot more of that survivor escaping just because of this part. I spend all match breaking pallets and you want to bring the fuckers back? Hell no. Hell no. Killer's base gen kick and regression rate should be buffed, and the gen defense perk should have their values lowered at the same time to even out the disparity of oppressiveness from 4 gen slowdowns versus none. But overall, I agree. Medkits shouldn't have add-ons and just do their base value. Brand new parts shouldn't exist anymore. I think it is incredibly important that every item has add-ons, and I think it is also incredibly important that iridescent add-ons exist for items. Your problem is that toolboxes with brand new part and medkits with add-ons are infinitely more useful than maps, keys, and flashlights. And I don't think the answer is nerfing these 2 items. I think the answer is buffing the other items so that we can actually start getting more variety in our games. The game has become too bloated with perks and characters over its time span. I think the devs should start working on a sequel to... What is your obsession with a sequel, man? What are you an Overwatch player? Are you an Overwatch player? Big V Hungus VS? Are you an Overwatch player? Legion is fun to verse. Disagree. Fuck you. I don't care. I'm not reading the rest. Holy shit! Most of the stuff in DBD is sexualized! If behavior buffed all slowdown perks back to their glory days, ruin 200%, pop 25% of total regression, DMS. Dead Man Switch? 60 seconds and eruption kept as it is but reduced incapacitated. Survivors would be less likely to complain because of the variety in killer builds. That's a bold stance. I've got to disagree with that one. I guess. The devs need to stop nerfing gen perks and change base game mechanics. Here we go again. Corrupt, Pop, Pain, Res, Ruin, Eruption, Thana, Pentimento, DMS. Almost all of the perks affecting gen speeds have been nerfed. Some of them are straight up garbage now. Pop, Eruption, Ruin. Eruption's fine. I quit fucking doomsaying. People are already calling for Call of Brine needs to, which is insane to me. The reason people run perks like this is because if you don't, you will lose the gens too fast and lose the game. By nerfing these perks, killers are encouraged to tunnel out one survivor. I agree with the last one to a point. When you take away the ability to slow generators down, killers will have to find other ways to slow generators down. So we're going to give this one like a half agree, half disagree. I think that people greatly underestimate. People tend to think of game balance in this very black and white reality where you should either be buffing everything to extremes or nerfing everything into the ground. And they don't ever really think about the fact that you have to understand balance as it is. So maybe they shouldn't be nerfing gen regression perks all the way into the ground, but they should definitely be nerfing them to a point where they don't feel oppressive to play against. Do I want to expand this? If you farm... Ooh, this is going to be good. I've read the first 6 words, and I know it's going to be good. Let's go, chat. If you farm with the killer and you're taking advantage of pallet stun, blinds, etc., it's a dick move to not step up as the obsession and get at least 1 kill in. If you, as the killer, think that you should be given a kill after you farmed with the survivors, you're the dickhead. Even if it's not bannable, using NVIDIA filter... Yeah, I agree. I'm just not going to finish reading that. I already know what the man's saying. I agree. Trapper is not that bad. Trapper is legitimately the worst killer in this game. All right, chat, let me grab some water. Keep my throat up a bit here. All right. I think the MMR system in a game like this doesn't actually function properly without a separate mode to build your MMR. This game by default is not a competitive game. However, it is now trying to be adjusted as such, and if the devs really want to go this route, then there's no point in having one super large queue, because right now everyone is playing to sweat, and there needs to be a ranked mode with an MMR to have a quick play for casual mode, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do a video on, a ranked mode, a possible ranked mode in this game. I'll slide it for next week, because this what we're filming now is going out on Monday. So I will next Monday I will do a video on the rank system, on a possible rank system, and why I think it's a bad idea. However, regardless of the casualness of a game, MMR is incredibly important to providing a decent new user experience. No map should be killer-sided. No map is killer-sided. Every map should be neutral or should favor survivors. Why? Since the map is what the survivors use to fight back. Okay, all right, that's a fair argument. However, oh boy, we should still not have maps like Cowshed or Batum, which are heavily survivor maps, and I agree. Also, when survivors say that no-add is a crutch perk that boosts your MMR to where it shouldn't be, so is that heart locket offering. You know what? I'm just gonna leave that one alone. You hate most killers and perks. I don't. Not because they are strong, oppressive, but because they are meta and you constantly play against them. Okay, but what makes something meta is it being strong or oppressive. A meta can't exist. The meta is simply the strongest things in the game being played. So that's the reason they're meta. So you basically said you don't like things not because they're strong or oppressive, but because they're strong or oppressive. I just want you to understand that. Killer needs a shortened corrupt, like 45 seconds, that ends when you down someone as a base kit. I don't actually disagree. Ghostface's Mori is cringy and overrated. Whoo! This man pulled this take straight out the oven in the pits of hell. Talk about hot. Especially when people feel the need to screenshot and share it like we all haven't seen the exact same screenshot 40 billion times. Trickster's Mori over Ghostface any day of the week. Whoo! I burnt my tongue reading that one. That's one of the hottest takes I've ever read. Nemesis zombies aren't even close to that useless. God damn, this guy is fucking on fire. He is burning up with these takes. Nemesis is in my top 3 most played heroes, and I constantly get value from them. Just because they aren't getting downs every match doesn't mean they aren't doing anything. Yeah, alright. I mean, if you say so. Trapper is a bottom. Yes. Trickster fits perfectly into the vibe of the game. Horror is a broad genre. Yeah, exactly. There are plenty of visually flashy movies about a track of psychos. Itchy the Killer, I Saw the Devil, American Psycho, and even Neon Demon, Supriya, 1977. Or Mandy, if you're looking for an effective horror with a brighter palette. I'd love behavior to push boundaries and create into creature feature a lot more often, because variety is cool and so are monsters, but that doesn't invalidate. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. You all get carried by your perks. What? All right, man. Sure. The reason your games are so stressful and you feel like you can't win because you ignore what the developers have made it very clear they want. You're not supposed to be getting 4Ks or escaping every match, or even in the majority of matches. The ultimate goal is a balanced game where 2 survivors escape, give or take a survivor, and that's what MMR is trying to achieve. But killers seem to get upset if they only get 2 kills, or the survivors get upset if they don't escape most matches, and it's like, well, that's not how the balance of the game. Occasionally, you'll get matches where everybody escapes or dies, but that shouldn't be the norm. But so many people set the standard of, I need a 3K plus to escape most matches to win. They act like the other side is OP and then whine about it, and that's in the intent of the MMR. The game isn't survivor or killer sided. You just set unrealistic expectations of your matches. I think that I think I pretty much agree with most of this, but however, the thing is that when we're talking about killer and survivor sided, we're talking about the ability to get to the point of getting to that balanced 2 kills, 2 escaped. I think that you need to understand fundamentally what goes into... So you've identified, this person, PK10534 here, has identified what they assume the game is meant to be, which is a tie game every game. But they don't realize the difficulty of getting to that tie game almost every game. And how that, you know, how that affects everything. Oh! So that's it, chat. 420 hot takes on Dead by Daylight. I'm going to be cutting a lot of these out, though, because, like, some of them are just, like, either I didn't have any opinion on them, or they were really stupid, or they were troll responses. So hopefully this video doesn't go on too long. But chat, say hi to YouTube. Make sure to tell everybody to subscribe if they like the video, and like the video if you like the video. And let me know down in the comments what your hot takes are. If this video on YouTube gets, like, enough hot takes in the comments, I'll do a part 2. How does that sound? Other than that, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Should I do like a live thing? Yeah, we're filming this live. Come to twitch.tv/KaiserDeBard.